Hello, my name is Regina Miller, and I'm here today with my life session to talk about my amazing father, Herbert Lee Miller. Today is my father's birthday in heaven, and this is the perfect opportunity to tell you how I became me. It was because I was a girl who was raised in a two-parent home with a father, a provider, a stern black man who didn't mind sparing the rod. And that rod made me the lady, the mother, the woman who I am today. Let's get started. My dad was born in Sumter, South Carolina to Albert and Queen Miller. Queen Victoria Miller. That's who I named my firstborn child after. And that goes to show you the legacy of my father. My father married my mother. They were in high school, right out of high school. My dad served in the Vietnam War. He was a great man. He was a provider. He was a man that took care of his family. Not only his family, but the community. My father was a businessman. He gave jobs to every child in the community that he could, who he knew and believed in. My father taught me that to love is to gain. That's what my dad taught me. And that meant from strangers or people that you knew. My dad didn't mind talking to anyone on the streets or in public. No matter where we were, he was a friend. And people received him. My dad had a smile that every woman dreamed of having next to her. But he would always remind them that I am Bert's man. And I used to hear him say that plenty of times. I was a daddy's girl. Everywhere my dad went, I tried to hold on to his knees and go behind him up until I was a grown woman. My dad wasn't perfect, but he was kind. He was generous. He was meek. He was just an OG to the OGs. People his age honored him. You don't really find that people your age honoring you as a king. I remember when people didn't have a place to wash their bodies, he would tell them they can come to our home and bathe. My mom and dad fed thousands of people who was hungry. My dad was a shoe man. He had a shoe business in New York, Brooklyn, and Manhattan stores. He put shoes on thousands of children that didn't or could afford shoes. He was very generous and kind. He had a heart of gold. My father. I called him my daddy because I owned that he was my daddy. And I was so proud to be his daughter. Even times when I let him down as a daughter, he still showed me strength. I remember my first husband. He said, I'm not going to the wedding because it doesn't make sense. My dad went on vacation. That's the type of man he was. That didn't mean he didn't love me. That meant he wasn't supporting my foolishness. He literally went on vacation. When he came back, it was done. And he treated me like it never happened. That's the kind of father I had. When he said something, he meant it. I remember calling my cousin stupid. I got a whole butt cutting. That's the kind of father I had. He didn't tolerate anything that wasn't of stature. He was raising women. He told each and every one of me and my siblings, spouses, If you can't take care of them, leave them with me. And while my dad was on earth, they took care of us. We didn't have problems until he left the earth. And I'm sure my siblings can vouch to that. My dad was a strong man, a strong husband. He was a provider to his wife. My mother worked every day, and he told her, your money goes to taking care of the girls. Make sure they go out. You take them out every Saturday. My mother used to take us out every Saturday, and we stayed out all day. We would go by my dad's shoe store on the way home and drop him off lunch on Saturdays at the shoe store. And we would stay downtown Brooklyn or Manhattan enjoying the whole day. That's what my mother worked for, to make sure she took us out on Saturday. He was a provider. He took care of the entire home. My dad showed me what a mother should look like when my husband left me. He showed me, you will not cry. You will not hold your head down. I'm going to teach you how to take care of my grandchildren, and you're going to be okay when I'm done. And he succeeded in that. The one thing I didn't fail was being a mother, because I was taught the proper way by a real man how to be a woman and a mother and raise my children. My dad is deceased now, but I am him. I am the legacy. My siblings, we are the legacy of Herbert Miller. When we smile, we know that he's smiling in heaven. My heart always believes in everything that he's taught me. My dad left no crumbs behind. It was like he knew he would leave early, because he literally left gems with me that I still live by. When a girl is raised by a father, that is her gateway to life. That is her key to her success. That is her foundation in her mind to move forward, knowing that she's been guided properly. That's why I say it takes two parents to really, really, really raise a child. My mom and dad had that pill. They knew how to take that pill every day to stay together and raise their children. It was an oath by God, and they lived by it. My name is Regina Miller, and I represent my father on this day. May he continue to rest in peace.